Biden administration, as part of the bipartisan infrastructure law and the funding that it provided, have been trying to find some demonstration projects for real high-speed rail. There really isn't in the United States yet. That means trains going 200 miles an hour. And this project, which was already being planned, is one of the areas where the federal government has seeded some investment, where you have a private operator who wants to get it up and running, where they have a target, pretty ambitious, of getting it running by 2028 in time for the Olympics. And so all of this is exactly what the administration was looking for, basically a proof of concept to get real high-speed rail going in the United States for the first time.
Okay, Tim, can we get to the drama now?
Yeah, let's get to the drama.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, someone's got to build the trains. And there are really two entities that applied to try to win the business. Seamans, which is based in Germany, obviously, and Alstom, the French company. They both have outposts in the United States because they make and overhaul trains for commuter services and subway lines. Neither one of them is building a true high-speed train in the United States yet. Brightline ultimately selected Seamans, and it has said that they're going to move forward and have Seamans build 10 brand new high-speed trains. Alstom has sued the federal government, basically trying to block the waiver of the Buy America rules, which restrict whether you can use federal money to pay for something that wasn't made and assembled in the United States. So Alstom is basically saying Brightline should have gone with them because they're closer to having a high-speed train that could be produced and run on these tracks between California and Vegas.
Okay, so what happens next year that we have these two feuding companies? If Seamans is already going to be manufacturing these trains, is there a chance now that the other company kind of comes in and, excuse the pun, but derails that production?
It's kind of hard to avoid the derailing puns here. Alstom is certainly hoping that they can do that. Seamans is plowing ahead. They've announced that they're going to put a factory in New York. They've extended a sort of olive branch to labor to organize that factory. That was part of their pitch, really, to make themselves an attractive option here. But yeah, Seamans is going to move ahead and just try to continue with the designing and building of these trains. Right now, there's an ongoing court fight because of the Alstom suit, and Seamans and Brightline have joined that lawsuit to try to argue against this move by Alstom. But at least for now, the project appears to be moving forward. If Alstom is successful, it really is unclear what this would do to Brightline's schedule, and certainly it would be likely that the timetable of 2028 would slip.
Why are train cars meant for California being built 2,500 to 3,000 miles away in perhaps Horsehead, New York?
Certainly one of the things that everyone was watching as the law was passed and then as the funding has been doled out is whether these facilities would go to states that have strong political connections. The Senate Majority Leader, Chuck Schumer, is a big longtime booster of Alstom because they have a factory in Hornell, New York. He was there to celebrate Seamans' plans to open one in Horseheads, New York. Seamans has also said that there were site advantages to this place in New York State that they've selected, that it would be easier to get a factory up and running quickly to make these trains and deliver them according to the Brightline timetable. But it's certainly the political considerations and the considerations of doing this work, at peace with the unions involved. All of those were in the mix.
If all goes well, what should Americans actually expect the experience on the Brightline West to be like on a high-speed train? I know a lot of Americans actually might not be familiar with what that is like because we don't have a lot of those.
I mean, really what they're aiming for is the state-of-the-art that has existed for a long time in Europe and Asia. And that would be a train going, the Seamans Model, they say, will be able to hit 220 miles per hour, which is far faster than the Acela goes, even in short stretches here on the East Coast, and is unheard of anywhere else in the U.S. The goal would be for it to be a significant service on par with what you would get riding the trains in Western Europe and all over in Japan and China.